Hello, friends. Welcome to Anchored Women. My name is Stephanie. I'm on the team here. Today, we're going to be opening up my planner, doing a little plan with me, specifically on how I plan my week for both work and home life. I work from home, so my work and home life are pretty intertwined, but even if you work outside the home, it can be really helpful to have everything at a glance all in one place where you can easily see it as you're planning out your week. Today I'm using our bullet journal layout from the SOS Planner. I really like this layout because it allows me to put a lot of information on one spread without it feeling overly crowded. I'm going to start over here in the meals section. I find that so much of my life revolves around what I am feeding the people. At the beginning of the month, I generally make a list of everything that I know that we're going to eat throughout the month. It's not an exhaustive list, but it's a list of meal ideas, meals that I know that are easy for us to make, that we enjoy. Sometimes I'll put seasonal things in there as well. So then when I do my grocery shopping, I shop from that list. Here, I'm making a list based on ingredients that I know I have since I've already done my grocery shopping. So now we're going to come over to the task section. You can use this section in a variety of different ways, but the way that I most like to use it is just to get my brain onto paper. I write down everything that I can think of that I need to do that needs to get done for work or for home. I don't write them in any particular order. I don't try to categorize them. I don't try to list them by priority. My main goal here is just to get everything out of my head and onto the page. Some people can categorize their to-dos from the very beginning. I find this very hard for me to do. And if I start putting things into categories, I'll erase them and move them around, and I'll always end up forgetting something inevitably. So this way I can put it all in one place and then I can categorize it. Moving on to the right-hand side of the spread, we're going to take a look at our priorities. This to me is where the magic happens. I write down my priorities every week. Often they don't change, but I find that writing them down over and over again really helps me keep them top of mind. This week I have family connection and slower pace written down. We've kind of been running around a lot lately, and I feel like we've been missing each other, so I want to make sure to emphasize that slower pace. Next, I'm going to take a look at our habits. I have 3 habits that I'm working on right now. You have a space to write several habits in this tracker, but I find that I really can't work on more than 3 at a time. If it's a habit that I need to list out, it means that it's something that I don't have ingrained yet if I have to look at it and check it off, and I really cannot work on integrating more than 3 things into my life at a time. However, if you're using this for work as well, and you have certain things that you have to do every day as part of your work duties, this would be a great place to write them down and then check them off throughout the week. Okay, so this is where we're going to start to sort out the tasks that we wrote down in our big task list. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy mild liners. I have different colors for different categories, but right now I'm just going to use 2. This yellow is everything that pertains to my home life. So anything that I have to do with the kids, any homeschooling things, homemaking tasks is all going to get sorted into yellow. And then for work, I use this pretty coral color. So anything that is a work task is going to get highlighted in this coral pink. And then once everything is sorted, I'm going to start migrating my tasks over to my categorized task list on this side of the spread. You can label these 4 categories any way that you want. What works well for me is a home must do, a work must do, and then in the bottom I write my home nice to do's and work nice to do's. So now I'm going to start migrating my tasks over. This is where I can really take a look at each thing and decide, is this a must do, or is this something that I would like to do this week but it's not a priority? I do this for my home tasks and my work tasks. Sorting them out into categories like this really helps reduce my anxiety because I know that they're on the big list. I'm not going to forget them. But then I have the chance to look at each thing individually and really evaluate when that thing needs to get done because it's all important, but it's not all urgent. This is where I use different colors to really categorize my tasks and dial down. I usually don't categorize my work tasks since they're all work tasks and I don't really feel like I need to break them down further. But for my home tasks, I do break them up between homeschooling, errands that I need to run, and general homemaking tasks. However, you easily could use different colors to categorize your work tasks if you had enough work tasks that were different in nature. So, say you have some tasks that you want to delegate, or perhaps you have tasks that need to be done on different days or are for different departments. I can see color coding working really well in those situations. Okay, all of my tasks are now out of my head and on paper. I'm going to take a look at my schedule. Let's flip over to the calendar and see what we have going on for this week. I see that I have a couple of calls. I'm going to go ahead and schedule those. Just write them in. And if you're wondering about how I do my color code, I generally use purple for my homeschool tasks, yellow for tasks that we do together as a family, blue for things that I'm responsible for, and then that kind of darker pink color is for my homemaking tasks. This helps me identify quickly what needs to get done in one area. Let's take a look at what I need to put on my schedule. Not every task needs to get put onto the schedule. Some things I just do as I have time. But for things like pick up my holds or schedule an oil change, those are things that I probably need to have on the calendar on a specific day. I don't schedule specific work tasks on specific days, but I do take this time to block out my work hours. I work from home, so my hours are flexible, but I need to make sure that I'm intentional about the time that I do work and make sure that I set aside time for work that's different from time that I do other things like homeschooling or time with my family. I'm just going to highlight my work hours in this pretty pink color so that they're easy to spot. And that's it. Thanks for hanging out and planning my week with me. See you next time, friends.